Welcome guys to another match report here on the ManUnitedDaily YouTube channel, and in this one I have a video reporting to you guys about the match that took place last night between United and Barcelona in Gothenburg, Sweden. And the Reds lost out 2-0 on penalty shootouts after a goalless draw. And Nani and Ashley Young missed penalties, and Barcelona won the Super Match Cup, and so the Reds suffered their first defeat on their pre-season tour. And with the starting lineup, it was pretty much our strongest lineup, to be fair. We had David De Gea in goal, Antonio Valencia at right back. I think he might have a job to do there in the first few weeks of the season, due to the absence of Rafael. Phil Jones obviously injured, Chris Smalling's injured, so I think Valencia might have to be deployed there by Alex in just for the first few games. So that could be pivotal in the first few games, like I said, because Valencia, although very good going forward and very responsible going back, he's not an out and out right back, so that might be exploited by some teams. But Valencia, I think, with his professionalism, will persevere and get through those games. In central defence, we had our best pairing, Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic. At left back, Patrice Evra started his first game after missing out the last one due to the birth of his newborn baby. On the right, we had Nani, Scholes, Anderson and Ashley Young completing midfield, and in attack we had Rooney and Welbeck. And the game followed in basically the same as all the other finals that we played. Barcelona, very good on the ball. They dominate possession throughout the first half, to be fair. However, they had a few probing chances, but they were quickly snuffed out. And I have to say, I was really impressed with our defence, actually, because with Barcelona you have to be very patient in playing them, because they have so much of the ball. Your concentration is going to be paramount in order to stay in the game and making the vital interception when needed. And to be fair to us, we played very compact, and I was quite impressed with Anderson in his role. Basically, his role was a free role, really, kind of like snuffing out all the fires within the midfield, because Scholes, he's not going to have the legs to close down every single player. So Anderson did most of the the work for Scholes, and he impressed me in that kind of like defensive role. But to be fair to also our attackers, they didn't have a lot of chances to impress due to the fact that we didn't have any of the ball. But we saw glimpses of our star quality. Nani, a lot of you guys on Twitter has been commenting how good he looked last night, and almost dismissing the reports about how he was going to leave. And you guys think that he's better than Lucas Moura, and that's why I think we should offer him a new contract, a long-term contract, and secure him down, because he is one of the best wingers within Europe, and he showed that against last night against arguably one of the best teams in history. And with Barcelona, again, they dominated, but didn't come to much. David De Gea had very little to do in the first half, especially. He had a few catches, a few diving and getting the ball, but it wasn't nothing spectacular from his point of view. We did get a penalty on the 44th minute, I think, when Nani, again, really good play in the box, and a kind of like a naive challenge from Tello, coming back, leaving his trailing leg, and Nani caught Nani on his left foot, and then Rooney stepped up, but unfortunately didn't convert. To be fair, it was a decent penalty, down low, bottom left corner, but Victor Valdez guessed right. He jumped out of the goal to close down the angle, and so he did very well. And Rooney, again, disappointingly missed on the rebound, even though it came straight back to him. I think it's just because pre-season you can leave him that one, because during the season I'm sure he will be a lot sharper and fitter to convert those chances if they do occur again. So it's kind of disappointed that Rooney didn't put us in the lead, but up to that point, I'm sure a lot of you guys would have said that we didn't deserve it because of the amount of play that Barca had in our half, and sometimes we were penned in a little bit, but we persevered, like I said, stay compact and almost take the lead, but that didn't happen, and so went into half time at 0-0. And the second half, carried much of the same way. We introduced some new players. Kagawa, he came on and did a decent job, and he was playing in that Rooney role, the number 10, false number 9 kind of role. And I'll have to say I was really impressed with Kagawa, because like a lot of you guys has been saying about, we need another striker. I said this morning that Kagawa could act as the false number 9, and we could play off that sort of system. Although he's not a prolific goal scorer, he still offers a lot of threat, and he showed it again last night. A few minutes after coming on, he had a fierce left foot play shot, which was well saved by Pinto, the Barcelona substitute goalkeeper. And Kagawa, again, impressed with his use of both his feet, and so he looked really comfortable in that position. And almost at times I thought he was doing a lot better than Rooney in that role. However, you could say that because Kagawa, he has been playing a lot more games on pre-season, etc., and Rooney hasn't been able to rest as much. But all parts of pre-season to see who's sharper, fitter, etc. But Kagawa, he really impressed me again last night. He teamed up with Scholes, etc. well. Michael Carrick also came on at central defence, and I think that was a really kind of like exciting move in my opinion, because Michael Carrick, probably 31 now, and he might have the potential to be a central defender. And what I could see in that is almost a Barca-esque kind of system, where Michael Carrick, central midfield, great ball distributor, and so he could be almost Gerard Piqué of our team, where he sprays ball and very comfortable on the back. And it was really exciting to see his kind of like working relationship with Rio Ferdinand and himself at the half defence. Both very comfortable with the ball at their feet, so that helped us keeping a bit more possession against Barca, and obviously that is paramount in order to recover after such a long time without the ball. And I thought that it worked well, and I'm not sure if Select would deploy that in the Premier League. He might do against the lower sides, but again, Michael Carrick, it did look like it might be an interesting move, and it might work out in the Premier League as well. But you have to keep an eye on that one. Again, Barcelona had a few chances. One notable one was in the first half. De Gea again didn't have a lot to do, to be fair, apart from one good save from Lionel Messi. The second half he was a little more busy, and De Gea performed really well. A lot of people still arguing as to who should be the United number 1, but De Gea definitely answered it again last night with one really terrific save from Pedro. Alexis down the line had the first save, one-on-one, and De Gea did well there, and then Sanchez clipped the ball over the top, and Pedro headed it into the right corner, and De Gea fully stretched, got a hand to it, and it was really great save. And he did himself no harm last night, and I think he really proved that he is the undisputed number 1 at United. And I think after that performance, I would be really surprised to see that he is not going to be starting against Everton due to that performance and his contribution at the end of the last season. Although Lindegaard didn't do anything wrong, I just think, again, due to the form that he has right now, I think he will be continuing that spot within the team. And the game followed much on. Barcelona basically stopped their whole 11 by the 76th minute, and basically gave us a glance into their future, if you like. And they still producing these players who are very comfortable on the ball. But again, we did create a few chances. Kagawa impressed throughout. Didn't have the best balls, but didn't have the best amount of balls to do anything, because Kagawa, he's not a player that you're gonna trust to run the midfield. He's a player who wants the ball to affect the game in that way. So that could be a thing that we need to work on, is that we need to maintain more possession. But again, this is against Barcelona, so you're not going to have a lot of that, and you need to be more clinical if you're going to play them and win. But unfortunately, we didn't have that, and the game ended 0-0. And due to the Match Cup, I think that's what it's called, this came to a deciding penalty. I'm not sure why it was three goes each instead of the normal 5, but Ashley Young and Nani both failed to convert it. And Ashley Young continuing his poor Euro form on penalties really didn't surprise me. I don't know, but again, Barca well taken penalties, beating De Gea on both occasions, and you know they deserved that. But again, I have to reassure you guys that it's only pre-season. It was 0-0 at the end of the day. Penalties is anyone's game, and yeah, I don't think we were a million miles off Barcelona. We just played a lot like every other team, stayed very compact and remain patient throughout and waiting for our chance. That's what you have to do to beat Barca nowadays. You know, they're gonna dominate possession due to their players and you know, great kind of like technique on the ball, etc. And so we had to remain patient, and I thought we did quite a good job throughout the game. My man of the match would have went to David De Gea, but they announced that Paul Scholes was our man of the match. Scholesy, you know, you're going to get with him is a lot of possession and quality passes, but De Gea really impressed me again last night, and Kagawa, you know, special mention to him by the role he played. I don't know if I have the guts to say it, but he might have a starting berth over Wayne Rooney. That might sound a bit kind of like over the top, but just based on the fact and performance last night, I would rather him playing in that false number 10 and give Rooney perhaps the first few games off, and perhaps perhaps playing Rooney a bit further up and Kagawa behind him. So you know, that probably a controversial statement from me, but just purely on the performance last night, I was really impressed with Kagawa on that number 10 role. So what do you guys think of Kagawa, you know, De Gea's performance last night, Paul Scholes, Wayne Rooney, and all the returning stars? And yeah, if you do that, guys, leave a comment below, rate, thumbs up this video, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I'll bring you the next episode of United Transfer Talk in the next few days, talking about, you know, Lucas Moura, Van Persie, and etc. like that. So yeah, if you like this video, guys, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.